Hi everybody, my name is Chrissy Morgan and I am the group owner of Warm Hearts for the loss of a child, Warm Hearts for widows, and Warm Hearts in general. A lot of you probably know me or know my name from other grieving groups. And some of you probably have thought of me as being the bad guy or the enforcer. And that's not what I want you to think of me as. I want you to think of me as your friend. In order to do that, I think that you need to know who I am, where I've come from, and where I am today. So I'm going to begin with by telling you how I came down this path of grieving. This here is a picture of my son, Caleb. I don't know if you can see that. Handsome young man. That's his senior picture taken in 2010. He is a very handsome young man, very loved by a lot of people. This is a picture that I carry with me all the time. Those of you who have sons, who had sons, will know that it's a very rare opportunity that they give you a kiss when they're that old out in public. So that was one of those very rare moments where he was leaning over to give me a kiss. This picture looks a little torn and ragged. It probably is, but that's because it goes with me everywhere I go. So let me tell you a little bit about this. When Caleb was a sophomore in high school, he was jumped from behind by two young men who had on cowboy boots. They kicked him repeatedly in the head, numerous times, which began his onset of daily migraines. He had them every day from that point forward. Fortunately for him, he was able to graduate in 2010. Missed a few days of school, but he still did it. Very proud that he was able to accomplish that. Tried to hold down a job, couldn't do it because of the headaches. And I understood that. During that time, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia and arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. My regular physician sent me to a pain management doctor. He had tried to deal with Caleb's headaches also, and we had gone to numerous neurologists. We even went down to Emory in Atlanta and saw a neurologist down there. They couldn't find out what was causing the migraines. So because of that, they sent him to a pain management doctor also. Two different pain management doctors, two different people in the same house on the very same medications. Kind of put our place in a place of this is not a good thing. So we're going to fast forward a little bit and take you to the fateful day, October 29th, 2011. It was a Saturday morning, a morning that I will never forget. Caleb was one of those kind of people that I always knew when he was awake. He didn't always get up. He pretty much laid in bed. He didn't eat a whole lot. He would lay in bed or he'd go to the bathroom and throw up. Those of you that have had migraines, you know what it's like. You know how bad they make you feel. So on that morning, it was about 9:15, and I had not heard him stirring around. Normally by that time he had come to me and gotten his morning medications, and he had not that morning. So I went to his room and I went to the door and I called his name a couple of times. He didn't answer. Walked over to his bed, You'll have to excuse me if I get a little emotional. I walked over to his bed, and I felt his arm, and it was cold. I still didn't want to believe that my baby was gone. He had in his hand his phone. He had been texting somebody. And in his other hand, he had a Rice Krispie treat. He loved those things. Beside his bed, he had Dr. Pepper, which was his favorite drink of choice. I called the EMTs immediately, 911, and probably the longest 10 minutes of my life ever. In a house alone. My husband was at work on that Saturday. Our oldest son was living with his girlfriend by that time. And it was just me. My heart knew he was gone. I had moved his head. And unfortunately, I knew at that point, and due to things that you see when somebody passes away, that he was gone. But my head was not going to admit that my baby was gone. So when the EMTs got there, I made them put the heart monitor on him. And they told me, "We're so sorry. He's gone." I never thought that I would be able to breathe again, ever. One of the EMTs stayed with me until my family got there with me. They called my parents. My parents called our other son. He got there before my parents did. I unfortunately sent a text to my husband and said, "You've got to come home right now. Caleb's dead." You do crazy things and you say some crazy things when those type of things happen. That's been 3 years now, as of this past couple of weeks ago. It's been 3 years. Was on prescription pain medications for my arthritis and fibromyalgia. That next, probably 9 to 11 months, I became very much addicted to the pain medications. I overtook them because I didn't want to feel that pain that everybody feels when you lose someone, whether it be your child, your spouse, whoever it is. If it's a close loved one, you feel that pain. And I don't want to say the loss of a child is more greater than the loss of a spouse or the loss of anyone, the loss of a parent. I just know for me, that was my loss. I'd experienced loss of my grandparents. Was nothing like this. No parents should ever have to bury their child. I don't think any spouse should have to bury their spouse. Unfortunately, that happens. I wish we lived in a world where we never had to say goodbye to anyone. But for me, after a time, after that fog passed, and I became addicted to the prescription medication, due to an intervention with my parents and my husband, I agreed to go get the help and get off of all the medication that I was taking. And I'm very, very glad that I did. But then, I had to deal with the pain. I had to deal with the fact that my son's gone. He's not coming back. And then I realized, wait a minute, Christy. All my life, I was raised a pastor's daughter. Baptist faith, in case you're wondering. I am a Christian. I will not ever say that I'm not. So don't expect me don't expect me to say that. I respect your beliefs. If you're religious or if you're not, I still respect that because that's your choice. But I am Baptist and I am a Christian. My son was a Christian. And I know to this day, when I die, he's going to be standing at the gates of heaven waiting for his mom. And he's going to take me hand in hand to meet the Lord. And I fully believe that. And I know some of you saying, "Oh my gosh, she's going crazy." Well, I don't think I have. That's my belief. You are fully capable of believing ever how you want to believe. It does not matter to me. We are in the group Warm Hearts for a reason. We're all on this path. We're all on the path of grief. And you'll notice I have some missing teeth. To me, that's my badge of courage. I lost my teeth due to the pain pill abuse. And no, I don't have the money to get them fixed. Am I worried about getting them fixed? No, not really. I am who I am. You either like me or you don't like me. It's just who I am. I'm glad you chose to join our group. There's not going to be many rules. Number one rule is no arguing. We're not going to argue about religion. We're not going to argue about politics. Just not going to happen. No fundraising, please. In the day of the internet, I have no way of knowing whether these fundraisers are true. If it's really what it says it's for, I don't know that. You don't know that. So please don't post any fundraisings because they will be deleted. And I would like to ask that you not post pictures of anybody that is deceased. When I say deceased, I mean do not post pictures of them in their coffins or right after they passed away, because that is a trigger point for a lot of people. I am 3 years into my grief, and I still don't want to do it. I think I've been to one funeral since my son passed away. It's just something that a lot of people can't handle. Some people can, and that's wonderful for those people. I personally can't, and I know that there are others that can't also. So those are pretty much my rules. They may change as time comes on and as the groups grow bigger. I don't know. I do know this. I will not make money off of grief. I do not believe in that. I think the only people that should make money off of people that are grieving are funeral homes and funeral home directors. That's my belief. Whether you believe it or not, it's entirely up to you. But that's how I believe. So I'd like to welcome you to Warm Hearts. Whether you're in Warm Hearts for the grieving parent, Warm Hearts for a widow, or Warm Hearts for the main group, I and my baby are welcoming you to this group. Remember, the administrators that I have now, other administrators as the groups grow bigger, are going to be people that are also grieving people. Try to remember that when you are talking to one of us, you disagree with one of us, please try to remember that we are all grievers. And I also want you to understand, it's not my group, it's our group. And I hope that I can help you. I hope that other people can help you in the groups. I think together as grievers, we can all help each other. We're not licensed. I'm not going to give you medical or psychological advice because I'm not licensed for that. And that's not what this group is about. It's here to support each other. So I'd like to thank you for joining. And I hope that we can have a great group and support one another. Again, thank you. And I will see you in the groups.